So racket number one, there is a new turn in the Realtor lawsuit.
A new turn.
A new turn.
Wow.
They amended basically the original lawsuit, the class action lawsuit that could upend the U.S. real estate industry by effectively forcing changes in how buyers' agents are traditionally compensated has been amended, adding more plaintiffs and defendants and emphasizing the role commissions play in steering buyers and raising costs for sellers. So that's their big claim, is that buyers in the U.S. real estate market are being steered because of buyer broker compensation, which is paid by the selling broker traditionally, and that this is raising the costs for the sellers who know the costs heading into selling their home. There's been a lot of information on this lawsuit. We've covered it. Do you remember which episode? That's what you're here for, to remember the episode?
I'm sorry, do you?
No. Yes, do you remember?
Why would anybody remember the episode?
You can go back. You can go back on our Real World playlist on YouTube and find the episode. There's also really good content. You know, CNN actually did a really good overview of this lawsuit. Ness, that's in our. Can we link that one up too? We'll link up this current Inman article. We do that in all of our YouTube descriptions. There's a ton of information out there about it. Swanepoel Summit, we've covered that. They went through this. They actually brought an attorney in.
Holla.
Episode 68. So you can kind of check our initial take on that.
Last time I think we referenced episode 69. This one we're at 68.
We're in the high.
We primed at the late 60s.
The high 60s were our glory days. What was Tom Ferry?
67
or 69?
What happened?
He was
What
67.
happened to us?
The late 60s.
I think it's your Madison sweatshirt. It's thrown off your mojo, dude.
Madison CT. No, the late 60s were great. Maybe that's when Inman really recognized us for that Innovator
I
Award.
feel like maybe the 70s are just like, you're just like, we're high.
Oh, by the way, a little
the 80s will be great.
Update from last episode. Inman did reach out, thanks to you guys.
They did reach out. They're not even giving us a ticket to get in, but they want us to sit on the...
They said we could come and speak if we can get to Las Vegas. I've traveled with Nicole before, so I don't think that's going to happen this time, but it might. I told Inman we'll get back to him by the end of the week.
Okay.
We want to be out there, by the way. We want to go to Inman Connect. I've been to New York.
I haven't. I mean, I've been to New York, but not.
We haven't been to Vegas. This is the first or second year they're doing Vegas. They usually do San Francisco.
So I've never actually. So maybe you don't want to go with me because I've actually never been to Vegas.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to go for that. That would be a racket. Are you kidding me?
That's okay. We'll do like a.
I'll be texting Nicole like, hey,
I can make my own vlog.
We're going on a panel or whatever the heck that they wanted us to actually do a little. It wasn't a panel. It was a thing about podcasting. We should look and see if we can pull it off.
Yeah, you don't give me any information.
The information is they want us to come out for like 10 minutes.
That's all I need to know?
Yeah, 10 minutes. Do we want to do that or not? We got to decide. But I'll be texting you, right? And you'll be like, no, there's a pool party happening.
A pool party. Oh my God. Okay. First of all, I would not ever be at a pool party. That would never actually be a text you would ever see coming from me.
Oh, I took a massage. Did you know there was like 37 different spas in Las Vegas?
Yeah,
did you know that?
Or like they had a bar. Did you know that the spas here had bars?
Let's get into the real racket, not the Vegas racket.
Yeah,
the real racket.
This is a good article. There were lots of words in this article. I had a tough time.
Here are my interesting takeaways from the amended lawsuit. And the suit, remember, includes NAR, Realogy Holdings Corp., Keller Williams Realty, Remax LLC, Home Services of America Inc., and Home Services subsidiaries, BHH affiliates, and some Long and Foster and some other BHHS companies. They amended some company names. They even have the company names right in the beginning. So that was one amendment. There's 72 pages in the amendment, which was twice as long as the original complaint. And really their focus is that when you go onto the MLS, you have to make a blanket offer of compensation. A blanket offer meaning, hey, if any buyer broker as the listing broker brings an offer, the compensation is going to be X percentage of the sale of the home, and that's coming out of the percentage, obviously, that the listing broker signed with the seller.
Right.
What they're claiming is that buyer brokers are steering buyers, and I don't know, they didn't use this word, but I guess to prove this, that there would have to be this overwhelming steering happening, or
Right.
I'm not an attorney. So, by the way, we're not attorneys, and all of the opinions on this show are our opinions. So do not sue us for any of the shit that we're going to talk on this show. That's my little disclaimer. You can put a little flashing disclaimer right there.
You just like to have things flash up on the screen.
Yeah, just flash some stuff
he
up
likes
there.
to just flash you.
But, to prove that people are steering buyers, an interesting point they made was that the buyers don't know, okay, we're going to go look at these 4 homes. They don't know what the compensation is. Only that buyer broker sees that through the MLS. They're the only ones that see broker comments, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, in your experience, this is such a micro look, do you see buyer brokers steering?
I don't. I have no idea. I don't even know. I don't have any idea. I mean, I think that if you're really sort of concentrating on that, then you just don't have enough deals. Like you're holding on to each individual deal. But I can't say that I've ever seen it. Have agents discussed it before? Of course. But I've never actually encountered an agent where they self-admittedly haven't gone to a property. I've had agents call me and ask me about compensation, or if I'm not offering out the same amount that like we're keeping, like I get questioned. So
and with our listings, we're giving them the sheet of what we're offering to a buyer broker. I've been saying this forever. The commission on buyer brokers is being compressed, not only because of a lawsuit like this, just because of the value trade-off. Because I actually think the properties are being steered by the buyers themselves.
Yeah.
Buyers have all the information on the properties they want to go see.
Yeah.
And they're letting their buyer broker know way more than 50% of the time, or 50% of the buyer broker relationships, which ones they actually want to go see.
It's interesting though, because if you read
based off of what they like.
Right. But what's interesting though is if you read the article, it actually sounds like they're trying to make the reverse happen. It sounds like that based on this, they're actually trying to make sure that buyer brokers commission is saved
paid by the buyer.
Is that what you're getting from that?
I'm getting that
they're trying really hard to make sure that once the offer is submitted, a listing agent isn't changing the commission. They're making it sound like that they want buyer brokers to be paid fairly.
No, they want buyers to pay the buyer broker the complaint in this lawsuit.
I'm not getting that.
Yeah, I'm getting that. And maybe I'm misreading it, but that's absolutely what I'm getting.
It could totally be me. I got really hung up on the fact that on some MLSs, you're actually able to like only show based on commissions, like whatever the listing agent.
Yeah, I mean, like Las Vegas,
no idea.
you can as a buyer, broker, or as any agent, you can now filter through properties based off of
commission
being
offered.
And you could theoretically, according to this article, which we'll link up, this Inman article,
that's
which we'll
why
link
the
up,
lawsuit that's enough evidence right
that
there
they're saying
to show that they're steering.
That you could send your client. I don't see this on our MLS, by the way. That you could send your client properties only above X commission. This lawsuit too, just another little fun fact, if you read this article, this lawsuit references a bunch of previous Inman articles. So Inman, big shout out to you. You were heavily mentioned in this lawsuit without being a defendant, which is good.
Oh, I was going to say, but it's well, anyway, keep going.
So, I mean, here's one thing that I guess I'll point out is that they're also claiming a seller cannot respond to purchase offers with a counteroffer that is conditional on reducing the buyer broker commission.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the lawsuit is really actually helping because they're also talking about the fact that buyers agents are saying that they're free, right?
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, if you're a buyer broker, you should never say my services are free.
Right.
That's a stupid thing to say.
Because then when the buyer
it's just not true.
Right. Because then when the buyer is going back as a counter with that being attached, they're like, well, but my agent is free. Why would my offer then be contingent on their commission rate?
As a buyer broker, I am paid by the listing broker, which is absolutely a part of the total sales price, right? Here's what happens though, for everybody that owns real estate right now in America. If this changed and buyers were now paying their buyer broker directly, one, you'd see basically buyer broker commissions for all you buyer brokers go down to basically nothing like it is in other countries.
Right.
Number two, it would go down to nothing because they literally, the entire market would just completely go down based off of the fact, and it would go down way more than the couple percents of commission that buyer brokers are getting, because they would be able to afford much less. If you talk to any mortgage lender, much less if they are paying this commission out of pocket because it's eating up their down payment.
Well, it's all their down payment in some situations.
Their ratios are going to be whacked.
For sure.
You know, not being able to mortgage this commission that is basically due in the transaction to their buyer broker, by not being able to mortgage that, the entire market goes down significantly, way more than the percentage the buyer broker is picking up now. So this is not only, you know, these 6 homeowners or whatever, 6, 7, 8, whatever it is in the amended version that are coming together for this class action suit really hurt the 65% of Americans that are homeowners if this were to happen, like really big time. But there's a lot more information to come. We're going to link up the current Inman article that we referenced. I want to link up that CNN article because I think that's a good overview if people aren't familiar with what's going on.
Yeah, maybe I need to reread that article.
And do you think the amendments are a racket? What do you think?
No. I mean,
Attorney Nicole.
I think I'm just the whole thing is eye opening to see.
I think it'll be a major racket if they pull it off. I don't think they will. I think it could definitely change some things going forward. All right.